Sarah Palin, a name that sparks opinions, debates, and fascination. From a small-town mayor to a vice presidential candidate, her rise in American politics was nothing short of remarkable. But beyond the headlines and controversies, there's a story of resilience, ambition, and a bold vision for the future. How did she balance traditional values with her unconventional approach? And what made her one of the most talked-about political figures in recent history? Born in 1964 in Sandpoint, Idaho, and raised in Alaska, Sarah Palin grew up in a world far removed from the political spotlight. Her childhood was filled with outdoor adventures, hunting, fishing, and a deep appreciation for the rugged Alaskan lifestyle. This upbringing shaped her identity and later became a cornerstone of her political persona. She wasn't just another politician, she was a self-proclaimed hockey mom who spoke directly to everyday Americans. Her political career began in Wasilla, a small city in Alaska, where she served as mayor from 1996 to 2002. Under her leadership, Wasilla saw economic growth and development, but her direct and sometimes controversial style quickly became evident. Palin wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, and that trait followed her throughout her career. In 2006, she made history by becoming the first female governor of Alaska. Her victory was unexpected, as she defeated an incumbent governor. From her own party, she ran on a platform of ethics reform, government accountability, and energy independence, issues that resonated with many Alaskans. During her tenure, she took on oil companies and pushed for policies that prioritized Alaskan interests. Her approval rating soared, reaching as high as 90%, a rare feat in politics. But it was in 2008 that Sarah Palin became a national figure overnight. When Republican presidential candidate John McCain announced her as his running mate, the country was caught off guard. A relatively unknown governor from Alaska was now on the biggest political stage. Her speech at the Republican National Convention electrified supporters. She presented herself as a tough, no-nonsense leader, unafraid to take on Washington elites and the media. Her presence energized the conservative base, and for a brief moment, it seemed like McCain's campaign had found new life. However, the national spotlight was relentless. Every aspect of Palin's life was scrutinized, from her policies to her family. She faced tough interviews, where some of her responses raised questions about her readiness for national leadership. The infamous interview with Katie Couric, where she struggled to name specific newspapers she read, became a defining moment. Critics argued that she lacked the experience and knowledge needed for the vice presidency. But her supporters saw something different, a woman who was being unfairly targeted by the media. Despite the intense criticism, Palin remained a fighter. After the McCain-Palin ticket lost the election, many expected her to fade from the political scene. Instead, she did the opposite. She resigned as governor in 2009, a move that surprised even her supporters. She later explained that the constant legal battles and media attention had made it impossible to govern effectively. Leaving office didn't mean leaving the spotlight. Palin reinvented herself as a political commentator, author, and public speaker. She released best-selling books, appeared on television, and even had her own reality show, Sarah Palin's Alaska. She became a key figure in the Tea Party movement, championing conservative values and influencing a new wave of Republican candidates. Her endorsements carried weight, and her influence extended far beyond traditional politics. But Palin's journey wasn't without challenges. As the political landscape evolved, her influence started to wane. Many of the candidates she endorsed struggled in elections, and her once dominant media presence began to fade. Some believed she had become more of a celebrity than a political leader. Yet her impact on American politics is undeniable. She paved the way for a new style of conservative politics, one that was populist, anti-establishment, and media-savvy. Her legacy is complex. To some, she represents the voice of ordinary Americans, someone who challenged the political elite and stood firm in her beliefs. To others, she symbolizes the dangers of elevating personalities over policy. But one thing is certain: Sarah Palin changed the conversation. She brought a new energy to conservative politics, inspired a generation of political outsiders, and proved that traditional values could be paired with bold, unconventional strategies. Today, Palin remains an influential figure, occasionally making headlines and weighing in on key political issues. Whether one agrees with her or not, her story is a reminder that politics is not just about policies. It's about people, personalities, and the power of a message.